So Kamala Harris could reveal her VP pick very soon, within hours. And while some say it's the most important decision she can make, her opponents say her failed record is the only thing that matters.
I don't care. Let them do whatever. They still want to have open borders. If she picks Shapiro, she's going to lose the Palestinian vote.
I think whoever she chooses, the problem is going to be Kamala Harris's record and Kamala Harris's policies. The American people are suffering because Kamala Harris keeps on making bad decisions. I don't really care who she chooses as a running mate.
What about Victor Davis Hanson? What does he say? He's the author of The Case for Trump. He joins us now. Victor, what are you looking for in this selection, and what does it mean for the election?
Well, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance have only 90 days. It's a very irregular election. It's abbreviated and truncated, Brian, and they have to inform, expose, tell the people what Kamala Harris has done in California for 8 or 10 years, what she did as vice president, what she said, because she's really the most left-wing candidate that's ever run in the modern era for presidency. And they don't have 1 second, 1 moment, 1 day to get into her DNA or her amorous past or any of that stuff. And then they have to be very careful about what they say. They say one thing on off topic, and then the media gloms onto that, and they lose a half a day of what's important. If they just keep running ads showing Kamala Harris explaining inflation or diplomacy, it's pretty embarrassing, because the left has really swapped out a debilitated president for a challenged president. And if they just let her speak and can get her out in the public, I think the public is going to say there's no way that this person can be president. What have they done? This is crazy. But they have to stay on message, issue, and then get her out and debate her and let the public see her and let her talk to the public, because that is equivalent to, I hate to say it, not wanting her to be president.
So I look at the battleground states, and they ask people in the battleground states, according to this ABC poll, what's most important to you? And every single one, almost by a 2-to-1 margin, is the economy. And if you say to the voter whose economy was better, overwhelmingly, every poll, they believe the Trump economy is better than the Biden economy. So even if you wipe out her past and just focus on 3.5 years in the administration, that also works to the Trump team's advantage.
Absolutely. They can talk about what inflation did. There was a supply chain shortage. We were coming out with enormous consumer demand. There was already a lot of money hyped up in the economy. Liberal economists said, don't borrow any more money. They borrowed $7 trillion, poured it in the economy, got hyperinflation, and now we're starting to have a recession, worries. All they have to do is play that tape, how she explains inflation, and people will say, these people caused it. They have no clue what's going on. I remember how good it was under Trump. And that's a winning formula, but it has to be drilled in 24/7.
New edition of your book, The Case for Trump. What did you include?
I took it where Trump was at his low point right after January 6th, and I went all the way up till this spring and tried to explain how he came back and why they tried to use lawfare to destroy him, to bankrupt him, to nullify him, get him off the ballot, all of the machinations that were used against him in detail, and how he withstood it all. And he's made the most amazing political comeback since Richard Nixon did it. But we're not done yet, so the story's not ended until November.
And if it does end with a victory, it'll be the greatest political comeback. Piers Morgan says greatest political comeback in all of our lifetimes, times 10.
Yes, it will. Because we had this conversation, Brian, on January 7th of 2020, and you said to me, I think Donald Trump will be the leading Republican contender in the next election, will be ahead in the polls. I would have thought, Brian, are you okay? Everybody thought that. But not Trump. He was the only one that had confidence in his abilities, his resilience, and everybody should hand him that. It's amazing how he came back. And he's only got 90 days, but he's got to have complete control of his menu and campaign. It's really important. Stay on topic.
45 seconds left. Should Trump debate on ABC, or should he hold out for something more in his terms, or not at all?
He should hold out for 2 debates. One, he should compromise. One on Fox, one on ABC, because the more he can get her out and have her explain and not interrupt her, just let her talk. the more he's going to be favorably received, because she cannot go out in the public without a teleprompter. Anytime she does, even for 30, 40 seconds, her handlers, they have a seizure. They're so upset.
The Case for Trump, new edition, comes out tomorrow. Victor Davis Hanson, one of the smartest guys we will ever talk to. Thanks so much.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.